Fantasy Blind Spot, where we shine the light on what you can't see. He's a cornerstone piece. He's a guy you're going to want on your fantasy team.
It's all about them splash plays.
Oh my God, did that just happen? I can't believe he made that catch.
He's got that big play ability.
The football gods made this guy to play football.
All right, so he's just an explosive runner. He's one of those guys that when he gets in the open space, he just puts his foot in the ground and he's gone. What's up? What's up? Welcome into Fantasy Blind Spot, where we shine a light on things you can't see. I am the Blind Guy. You can find me on X at the Blind Guy FF. With me, as always, is my co-host, crazy Canadian Shawn Thompson. You can find him on X at Maximus8911. Thanks to everybody for listening. Remember, hit that like and subscribe. How you doing today, bud?
Doing all right. How you doing?
Not too bad. It's a Wednesday. Weather's been weird lately, but hopefully getting into some warm weather starting next week. So that'd be kind of nice. Not having to worry about, do I have to close the windows at night because it's getting in the 40s?
Oh, for sure. You got some interesting stuff going on in the football world with Geno Smith, too. His crazy girls accusing him of beating her, but even the video seems a little strange. And the cops are saying that there's not much there, but they're still investigating it because you kind of have to in those situations, right?
Yep.
But just a weird situation. Like, fuck, stay out of shit. Find yourself a good girl. That's the problem. They get these friggin' bitches that just don't even deserve to be in a relationship with them because they don't bring any worth. They're just trying to suck them dry of all their funds.
Yeah, what was that South Park episode, the succubus? Just there to take everything from you. But
That's
did you happen to
from a Canadian show? What was that called? Fuck. That Girl or something like that.
Nice.
But it's a book, like it's a series in Canada, and so Teresa, who I'm seeing, she's into this show, and I'm watching it, and like I am no way interested in this show, but it was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
And she was like she was a succubus where she would suck the souls out of people. So she would have to have sex with you, take your soul, and that's how she got her energy, kind of similar to vampires, but there's also vampires and werewolves and all this other stuff. And then you start looking at it and you're like, okay, I know that at the time that this was being made, Canada was #1 in the world for all the special effects graphics. And where Disney was just pulling them from York School. I'm like, and then when you looked and see that York School is in the credits and Canada paid for this whole friggin' movie, you're like, this is where they tried out a lot of the special effects that they used for the movies later on, like Lord of the Rings and all the stuff you see now, like Twilight and all that sort of stuff. It's Gone Girl. That's what it's called, I think.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard of that, actually.
Yeah, it is pretty neat just to see. But yeah, so I always joke about succubus because it comes from that show.
yeah, that's one that we talk about too. And they have like some kind of song that puts you under their spell so that it's easier for them to get you, kind of deal. Now that we're off in the weeds, did you happen to see the video of Geno?
Yeah, I saw it. I think you don't really see much. You don't see anything actually. You just see her kind of leaving the house. Running. I didn't even see the kid in the video, but she's like, he's beating me because he doesn't like that I gave birth to a mentally challenged son. I forget what he has, but there's some type of
disability there.
Condition that he has. And then Geno Smith is like walking out of the room. He's got a video controller in his hand. He's like, "What the fuck you talking about? Get out of here!" So the cops. That's all the evidence that she gave the cops. I haven't seen if there was any marks on her or that sort of stuff, which. Who knows if they could put that on themselves too, right? I've seen that
for sure.
Which makes me jaded in these situations because I've seen a lot of bitches fake stuff just to get the guy fucked up.
See, and that's where like this situation is also weird because like even the media, I mean, you know that whole believe the woman first situation that we kind of live in now, where even the media, when they're reporting it, they're like, oh, and there's video of the incident. Like, well. If she's just running out of the house and you don't see anything, is that really video of the incident?
Yeah, exactly. It's not anything.
Right, like I could just open the door and run outside with my camera recording too and accuse people of stuff. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
it's weird situation. I'll withhold judgment until we see what happens.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at too. In this one year, if I'm to compare all the domestic violence that happened this summer, I'd say this is probably the one where nothing's going to happen from. If I was a betting man. But we got some interesting stuff here. Let's get to these things. It's called Unhuman Plays. So these are like
Okay.
plays that have happened
Like
that just blew the mind. So I'll give you an example here. The first one they got is Justin Tucker, the 66-yard field goal.
Oh yeah, that was
all-time record. That was just a great play, right? Then they got the Derrick Henry's 99-yard stiff arm, where he ran 21.74 miles an hour. That one that
I
made
remember that one too.
Yeah, that's where Derrick Henry came out. Remember, he wasn't anything before that, and then finally he talked to Eddie George, and Eddie George is like, "Your problem is you don't run every play like it's your last. Like, you don't know when this game's going to take you due to injury or whatever, so you just got to go." And then that's when he started becoming Derrick Henry, and Arthur Smith gets freaking credit for it. I don't know why, but
he's the coach. You know how that is.
Oh yeah,
got to give the coaches credit for everything.
Third one here is Odell Beckham Jr., the catch in 2014 against the Cowboys. That was still one of the greatest plays I've seen.
I was insane. He caught it with like 3 fingers.
Yeah. That's why you never give up on a play. And then next we got the Buda Baker chase down by DK Metcalf, where nobody knows
that
where it came from. Then we got 2 here from the Chiefs. First one being Patrick Mahomes, the horizontal pass, which that was just crazy. And the Tariq Hill, where he sprinted past his teammate who had the ball for the touchdown just to show off his speed.
Yep.
That's where the peace sign started coming from, right?
I think so, yeah. I was going to say, isn't that the same play as the peace sign?
Yep. And then we got Marshawn Lynch's Beastquake after he was traded to the Seahawks, and he became Marshawn Lynch on that one. That was against the Saints.
He broke like 8 tackles on the one play or something crazy. Just moving the whole pile.
And then we have Josh Allen's 2024 scramble versus the Chiefs, 26-yard touchdown on a 4th down. Which I don't really remember that play. I think that must be a playoff one, right?
It is, yeah, because that was the same game. I think that was the touchdown
it says that it was the first game that the Chiefs lost that year, so it's got to be a season one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I don't remember that one either. I was thinking that was part of that playoff game where they lost in 11 seconds.
No, and there's a lot more plays I can think of to put on here other than that Josh Allen one. The other ones, they're good plays. Maybe I'd take the Tariq Hill one out because it wasn't really him making a football play. But like the goes to the post, the catch, like there's tons of plays you can put out on here.
Yep, the immaculate reception.
Yep, there's
all kinds, man.
All right.
I mean, you could also, like, if you really wanted to, go to the other end and go butt fumble because that's one that everybody remembers, and you're like, how the hell does that even happen?
It shouldn't happen. Then we got another interesting one here. We got the Mount Rushmore of fear.
Okay.
So basically what they've got their Mount Rushmore, and then they've got the backup Mount Rushmore, and then 3rd and a 4th Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
And this is just for fear, not play style, just like who were players afraid of, right?
Okay. So it could be offense or defense.
Yeah, I guess it could be. I don't see any offensive guys, though. So I'm going to say it's defense. I don't know how, the only scary offensive guy I think would be Phillip Rivers, who called them on. Come on and hit me. I want you to hit me. Like, it'd be hard, right?
Yeah, or maybe Derrick Henry with that stiff arm we just talked about.
Yeah, but
just getting embarrassed, though, I guess. It's more hurt your ego.
You don't really fear it, other than that, like you said, embarrassment. But so they're top-notch guys for fear. Number 1, they got Dick Butkus, Lawrence Taylor, Jack Lambert, and Jack Tatum.
Yeah, they would all scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, a lot of 70s guys there, man. That's when football was, I'd say the toughest. It was tougher beforehand, but the skill wasn't there. This is when you had the skill and the toughness kind of on the same level. It was in that 70s.
Yeah, I think so. Just literally beat the hell out of each other.
Well, and then their runner-up tier, Ronnie Lott, Ray Lewis, Night Train Lane, and Deacon Jones.
Yeah, we're still in the old school generation here.
Oh yeah, like I said, that's when it was the best, right? And then the tier 3, there's 8 guys, so I'll just go through them all. I think they did it in 2 different ones, but who knows? So they got Mean Joe Green, Reggie White, Brian Dawkins, Lyle Allendo, James Harrison, who I think should be on the top one.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Steve Atwater, Sean Taylor, and Chuck Bernard.
Yeah, all right. So still haven't quite gotten into modern era. I thought maybe Myles Garrett would be up there just because his size.
Do you really fear him though? Myles Garrett's good. You worry about him, but you don't fear his attitude because he's like a gentle giant.
Except for that time he took off his helmet.
Well,
tried to
yeah, I
beat
guess
somebody with it.
that's only for Mason Rudolph, though. If you shouldn't use, I believe Mason Rudolph did drop the N-bomb because we haven't seen anything even close to that from Myles Garrett since or before, right? So
yeah, I agree. There was something weird there, but I mean, he would still scare me. But maybe that's just because I'm a small white dude.
Yep.
He's huge.
And then this is the three-headed monsters of a team. So quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And it had to be all at the same time.
All right.
So they've got 6 teams here, which they're saying is the best. This is by Pop History. They're on Facebook. Get a lot of stuff from there because it's interesting to talk about. So they got the number 1 being the Cowboys, Aikman, Smith, and Irvin. They won 3 Super Bowl championships between 91 and 99.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good start.
Yep. The second one here, we got Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, and Isaac Bruce. Got 1 Super Bowl between 99 and 2001.
Yep, greatest show on turf.
And then we got Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and Andre Reed from the Bills. This is the 3 guys that went to 4 consecutive Super Bowls and had the luck of losing all 4.
Yep. I don't know that you ever lived that one down, really.
Then we got the 49ers, Montana, Roger Craig, Jerry Rice, back-to-back Super Bowl championships from 85 to 90.
Those are all 3 Super Bowl or Hall of Famers too, right?
Yep. Roger Craig's not in there yet.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Although he should be because he was the first 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard catcher.
Which is crazy, especially in the time frame he did it.
And then we have the 5th one is the Colts, Peyton Manning, Edward James, and Marvin Harrison from 99 to 2005. NFL's most productive offense of the 2000s is what it says.
Yeah, and I could see that.
And then lastly, we have Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown.
Yeah, the Killer Bees. Bell, Brown, and Ben, and never got to that Super Bowl.
Well, out of all those 6, who do you think's the most lethal?
I mean, if you're going by Super Bowl wins, it's tough to top that Cowboys one, but Roger Craig, Montana, and Jerry Rice, of course, is also hard to top. Peyton, I like that one. I always just felt like Edgerrin James, maybe I don't give James enough credit, but I always felt like Edgerrin James was kind of like the weak spot of that team. Well, I just don't.
You got to go back and look at him. I did the same thing a while ago too, and then when he was done, I was like, "What? His career was that good?" And went back and looked at him. I was like, "Okay." And I think the problem is they traded Marshall Faulk for the draft pick that got Edgerrin James.
So it's kind of that combination of we saw what Faulk was once he left, and James was really good, but Peyton was also so good it kind of overshadowed everybody else, made you think less of them.
Yeah, basically. Edgerrin James has like borderline Hall of Fame numbers, I'd say.
All right. I'll have to go back and look at him again because that's one people talk about how good he was. I just always thought, like, couldn't they have upgraded that position and been even better?
It'd be hard.
Yeah.
Right? Like, once you get to that sort of stuff. But, yeah, for me, I got to go with Joe Montana, Craig, and Jerry Rice. I just love that combination. Was my favorite of all time.
Makes sense.
All right. So lastly, we got things that have only been done once by an NFL team. So they've got a bunch here. We'll just kind of – I'm not going to go through them all because I think there's like 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we got the Arizona Cardinals won an NFL championship in 1925. That's the only time they've ever won something.
That's a long time ago. Before we get into the next one, I didn't even realize the Cardinals were around since 1925.
Well, they were in Cleveland at one point.
See, I didn't know they were in Cleveland. They were in St. Louis at one point, right?
Yeah, they were there. So they went from Cleveland to St. Louis to Arizona. Huh. They're like the oldest franchise in the NFL, which is surprising.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize they were that old.
So obviously we got the Dolphins going undefeated in 72, 17-0. Yep. I don't think that should even be counted anymore because I think that Patriots going 19-0 and losing in the Super Bowl should be 19 straight wins, right, in the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Dolphins get the credit because they finished it off with the Super Bowl. But like you said, it was still 3 games less than they play, even when the Patriots did it. and now it's a 17-game regular season.
We got the Buffalo Bills, 4 consecutive Super Bowl appearances, didn't win a single one. Obviously, that's got to be there.
I thought there was another team that did that, or was it 4 in 5 years and they lost all 4?
4 and 5 years, I think,
Okay.
because no one else has gone 4 in a row. Like if they would have just won 1 Super Bowl, I think they would have been considered the greatest dynasty of all time.
Oh, probably.
Hard to get the Super Bowl.
Especially, yeah, I agree.
We got the Atlanta Falcons, scored 30 points in 8 straight games in 2016.
That's pretty impressive.
What else we got here? Oh, the Los Angeles Chargers scored 50-plus points in 3 straight games in 63.
Do you think we see that one again?
I don't know. Depends if this season actually does go to the tight end, 3 tight ends, like 13 personnel or not. Because it's on base where that should have been beat, right?
That's what I was thinking. Is like when we were real pass heavy a couple of years ago, when we had like teams like half the league thrown over 600 times. Like I think that's probably when it could have happened. Because if you're going more heavy personnel like we think it's going to be, and more running back heavy, that's going to slow the game down. Because to score that much, you got to have time.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. That's a lot of points.
Yep, it sure is. They got the Steelers on here, won 4 Super Bowls in 6 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the 49ers, 5 Super Bowls in 14 seasons, and the Patriots, 6 Super Bowls in 20 seasons. Of those, Terry Bradshaw is the most impressive because he did it in the least amount of time, and then Joe Montana and Steve Young combined for those. So, yeah, the Patriots have a lot of Super Bowls, but it was done over a long period of time, 2 decades.
Yep.
Any other ones? Let's see here. New York Giants defeated the 18-0 Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that one. I don't think that gets beat again. Because if you get to that point now, you're not going to be 19 games in a row. You're going to be what? Yeah, you'd be 19 games in a row and then lose a Super Bowl, which would be 20, right?
Well, did you see? I forget. He works for the NFL execs. He's only under, only Roger Goodell's above him, and he was talking about what they're aiming for with the NFL. And he's like, soon, by the time I retire, we're going to have 20 teams. We're going to play 20 weeks, and we're going to have 3 bye weeks.
20 teams?
40 teams, sorry.
Oh, okay. Right,
so they're going to be adding 8 teams, which is what I said to do, I don't know, say half a year ago.
Well, yeah, we were saying make a Europe league.
Yeah, which is how
a whole
it's
division
like
over
it's
there.
going to go. A Europe league and then a different outside of America, North American one.
Mm-hmm.
Like Toronto will probably have a team, Mexico City, Brazil, and probably Vancouver, I would guess.
Like just the Americas.
Well, let's see here. We got the Raiders won 3 Super Bowls in 4 seasons. We got the Vikings went 0-4 in Super Bowls. And then here's one. The Cincinnati Bengals went to the Super Bowl in just their 4th season in 1981.
That is pretty impressive.
Yep, sure is. But there's other ones there. If people want to screenshot and look at it, we're not going to go through them all, but let's get in, talk some football.
Yes, sir.
Time for the Grape Light, where we discuss what's happening around the league.
All right, welcome to the Grape Light. And with the UFL done last year, I think we only had kickers the last 2 years with the UFL get signed. Well, this year the UFL has had 27 players signed, and they're kind of all over. We got 2 signed from the Battlehawks, 7 from the Houston Gamblers, 5 from Columbus Aviators, 2 from the Defenders, 4 from the Kings, 2 from, what are they, Columbus Blue Jackets?
Oh, no, that's the Aviators.
Aviators, yeah. And then 1 from the Storm. So we'll just run through a couple guys here quickly. We got Ahmed Speed, signed from the Gamblers to the Cowboys. Cornerback, we've also got from the Kings to the Saints, Tanner Brown, which is the kicker. All these pictures are a little different to find these names. So
nice. I
bear
know.
with me. We got Major
Saints.
Burns, safety from the Houston Gamblers to the Dolphins.
What a name. especially for
he's got a good
guy.
chance to make it.
Yeah, they need it on their defense.
We had from the Aviators to the Falcons, wide receiver Antoine Wells Jr. Good little spot to go because they don't really have a lot of depth there.
Right. And questionable quarterback situation, so he should have opportunity.
Yeah. Then your Steelers signed a guy from the Aviators, defensive end Jacoby Windman.
I think he was one of their sack leaders on that defense because that was one of the few bright spots they had.
Yeah, but I don't think he picked a good spot to sign. That's
hard
to make at that position. They got a lot of depth there.
Yes, they do.
We also got Denzel Mims from the Columbus to the Cowboys. Remember him from the Jets?
I do. I was just going to say he had an NFL opportunity and couldn't do anything with it. But that was also, I think that was Sam Darnold Jets.
Yeah, it was. So we'll see if he can carve out a little bit of a role there. We also had the guard, Chris Glaster from the Aviators to the Cowboys.
Nothing wrong with offensive line.
Nope.
That's a big step up.
Especially one that's like matured like that, right? Like I'd rather that than a rookie. The Dolphins did the same thing. They took Gottlieb. I don't even know how to say his last name, from the Gamblers to the Dolphins. Tackle. Then we have Ian Wheeler, the UFL Bowl MVP from the Kings to the Bills, which, again, he picked a bad spot. That's a position of great depth there. Like Frank Gore Jr. can't even make the team. He keeps staying on the practice squad.
Yep. Ray Davis, they love Ty Johnson. It's just a crowded room.
And then who's the other guy they just drafted too?
Yeah.
Claiborne? No, that's the
No, he went to Minnesota, yeah.
Reed. But he's on IR.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they signed Wheeler.
That could be. I mean, at this time too, it's a lot of camp bodies, right? Because their rosters, I think, are 90 right now, or something crazy.
Yeah, 93. And we got the Gamblers. We also had Caden Davis, wide receiver, to the Bears. Keyshawn Banks, linebacker, from the Storm to the Falcons. And then a couple more. We got from the Gamblers, Lawrence Keys to the Lions. Wide receiver. We got
Lions are one of those teams that do this every year too.
No, they're the first ones to sign one, right?
Yeah,
and we got from the Defenders to the Falcons, defensive edge Devonshaw Maxwell.
All right.
Then we got Tay Martin, wide receiver, signed by the Aviators to the Lions. He was in the NFL for a little while too.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, we've got Shawn Fresh from the Battlehawks to the Broncos.
See, a couple things stand out. One, it's teams all over the NFL. It's not just the same teams doing this. And it's all over the field position-wise. It's not like, okay, we're only taking kickers now, or we're only doing receivers. Like, if you're playing in the UFL and you're playing at a high level, these teams are noticing now. And I think that number is just going to keep going up.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you want to bring a veteran guy into your camp that you don't have to teach as much because they understand the game a little bit more?
Right, because they've been playing professionally. I like it. And I think it's one of the things that the NFL was hoping for with the partnership, I guess you could call it, or affiliation maybe, with the NFL and UFL.
Well, it's going to be interesting, and I'm going to have to look at this a little bit more because we do have the Brandon Sorsby situation. The NFL has just nixed the supplementary draft. Teams are too fearful on what that would mean for the NFL to allow this guy to come in with his blatant disrespect for the
game itself,
of the game. And like, we don't even want the drama. So the NFL has just nixed it, meaning his only chance to play would be in the NCAA, but I don't know if he can now that he's declared for the supplementary draft. It sounds like he's just going to be in a limbo land. But that also opens up the door in the spring to what I said. Somebody should say, fuck the draft. I'm signing professionally, which therefore makes you able to sign as a free agent somewhere because you're a professional football player somewhere else.
Right.
Fucking go try to win yourself a starting job in the UFL and then just sign with the team that you want to sign and skip the draft process altogether.
Yeah, I could see that. And if you're Sorsby, you almost want to do that because some of the biggest complaints against him have been the inconsistency, right? So even if you go to the combine and you show out, well, maybe that inconsistency shows in that combine. But this situation is so interesting because I don't think he can go back to the NCAA now because they declared him ineligible. And then when that judge ruled in his favor, the Big 12 was like, okay, fine, but you can't win the Big 12 championship game. And then there was still the chance that the NCAA playoff committee, well, not NCAA, but the playoff committee could have said, hey, you're not eligible to play in the playoffs. So it would have just been a lost season for him anyway, right? Because if you can't win anything, what are you doing?
No, and I think it's going to go a little bit farther for him personally. If he just goes, look, I fucked up. I'm going to take my lumps. I still want to make the NFL. I'm going to be doing whatever I can to stay in shape, stay in like playing style, and just, you know what I mean? I'd go from college to college, just going to practices and practicing with the guys who aren't healthy enough to be in the actual practice. Yeah. Like kind of like Shadorski did last year, right? Water boys, whoever you can, just stay the friggin' shape.
Right,
and
stay
then
around the
maybe
game.
NFL team will like take you in the 4th or the 5th round next year.
Yeah,
if you don't do the UFL thing.
Right, and I also think this was a good move for the NFL because if they did do a supplemental draft, odds are some team is going to be desperate enough at quarterback because it's such a position of value in the NFL. Some team would have taken that chance, but then you're now shaping everything around Sorsby. He doesn't get to go through the rigor of the draft process, which oftentimes is how we find players that like, oh, that guy actually is not going to be a guy, right? Because they take that, what is it? I would say a few months, but it's mostly a whole season, right? Because they're already starting draft prep for 2027 at this point. So it's kind of that situation where like you fucked up and then the NFL, the league that you want to get into, bends everything around you, even though you messed up. It's a weird thing. So I'm glad the NFL was like, nah, we're not going to deal with that right now.
You know, like I said, like people are freaking out about this too much. The NFL can step in and do something too, right? They just went about it a different way than what I personally thought they should do. Because my thought was that'll just stop it altogether in the future, which I think the NFL should still adopt. If you ever get caught gambling on your sport, you can never play in the NFL. It is a lifetime ban. That would stop anybody with legit skill or that thinks they got legit skill from doing that bet, because then it's not worth it because you're taking from the paycheck, right?
Yep, absolutely. Like I told you offline, I think this was the softest move the NFL could make that was in the right direction.
Yeah.
Like you're not actually making a stance. You're just saying, okay, we don't want to do that, so we're not.
Did you see what also came out yesterday too? That's the NCAA did? That
no,
kind of goes with all this eligibility stuff too?
Oh, wait, is that the rule change they made? It's like age-based? I didn't see all the details. I just saw it right before we came on.
So it's age-based. So basically, it has to be, you're allowed to play for 5, and they have to be 5 consecutive years.
Okay.
So basically, if you started in college at 20 years old, by the time you're 25, when you hit 26, you're not eligible. Even if you've missed years in between, you don't get that age 26 year there for past due. So
see, I think
it's like what
great.
Trump's put out, right? The executive order where you only get 1 extra year. It goes in with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I like that they're making it consecutive like that, because initially the idea that I had liked, that I heard that made the most sense to me was 5 and 5 years, and they didn't have to be consecutive. But if it has to be consecutive, I think that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Because like there's no reason we should have like 28, 29-year-old kids playing in college. It's just crazy.
Well, fuck, man. Did you see the one guy after all this Sorsby? I forget what his name is, but he's a linebacker. He's going to be 30 when the season starts on his 9th fucking season in college, and he just got approved for his 9th.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make
NCAA.
Like, why? How is that good for the game?
It's not.
You got an adult beating up on kids.
Just retarded.
It just makes no sense.
Other news, the 49ers are running out of room at Levi Stadium. They have started an investigation or whatever committee to see where to move the practice venue. We might be getting away from the power plant and all these injuries. Like, let's get this done for next year because we need it.
What I wonder if they could, like, if they made that practice facility a dome, would that help at all? I mean, that might be the easiest solution. It's not going to be cheap, but just make that facility indoors and see if that changes. Like, put some kind of liner.
It's sounding like they need to build something around Levi Stadium, whether it be parking or something to help with the game aid and all that sort of stuff, where they have no option but to move it. So if you're moving it, move it out of the city.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Put it somewhere cheap. Like, doesn't matter where it is. You just need a practice field, right?
Yeah, maybe there's something across the bay.
Yep. All right, a couple of extensions here. We got Justin Simmons was extended 3 years, $100 million by the Texans or the Titans. Sorry.
Yep. Did you happen to see the guarantees on that? Because I thought it made him the highest paid defensive tackle.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't remember what it was, but I do remember he's the highest paid defensive tackle in the league now, which is well deserved. He's had a great career.
Right, and if I remember right, they just traded for Tavondre Sweat, or they traded him away?
They traded him away to get Salah's guy and
Jermaine Johnson. That's it.
So he's going to have some help because I think that's better than having Sweat there.
Oh, I agree because him and Sweat are kind of this, not the same level of player, but the same type of player. That middle guy, just eat blocks, make tackles in the run game.
And I think that was a good move for both teams, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Need that guy after trading Williams.
Yep, I agree.
We also had Kyle Pitts was signed to an extension by the Falcons, 3-year, $54 million, $36 million of which is fully guaranteed. And did you know that Kyle Pitts, since being drafted into the NFL and playing, he is fourth amongst tight ends in yards and touchdown?
I did not know that. That's kind of crazy considering his rookie season. He had, one touchdown?
And 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
He was
crazy.
like, what was he, 30 yards shy of breaking the rookie record? And then people have this guy going in fantasy in the 12th to 15th round.
Oh, that's all right for him. He's making that much money.
Even before this, man, I would be taking him around 7, 8. I'm starting to think about him because I do think he's one of the better tight ends. He hasn't had a coach yet that knows how to use the tight end. He's finally getting one in Stefanski. I think he's going to blow up.
Well, that has to be best ball ADP, right? Like, we don't have most drafts going on. I think by the time August rolls around, people are going to realize, oh, Kyle Pitts finished as tight end 2 last year. I need to draft that guy.
Yep. Well, I got him in that 32-team league we're in, and I was at the 14th spot, and I was like, I should take David Bailey, but I cannot pass on Sadiq, and I also have Isaiah Likely. So I have like 3 major tight ends on my team.
Nice.
That are all startable, and I'm just like, Jesus, this is not good for me. But
well, you got some trade assets you can get rid of. I have
what I'm hoping for.
As you were saying that, I was just sitting there trying to think about like who do I have at tight end, but I have Tucker Kraft, so not necessarily a need right now either. Yep, I don't remember who my other one is though. Irv Smith is one of them.
Yeah, but I think he also has the backup for the Cowboys. Luke.
Yes. Schoonmaker.
Yeah, that's who you have.
Yep. Which is also interesting. 32-team leagues, and we're talking about that's 5 tight ends that are usable in a 32-team league between 2 teams. Just kind of crazy. Tight end position might be getting deep.
Oh, it's going to be crazy, especially if they do this certain team personnel. But that's all we got for the news. Now that you got the grapes, go make the wine.
Brighter light.
All right, welcome to Brighter Light. This is where me and Alex like to compare some players, come up with some scenarios for each other, and just see where we go. So we'll start out with yours here, Alex.
For you?
Yep.
All right, well, we were talking about tight ends and the depth, and so today I've got a tight end challenge for you. One of these guys just got the extension. We know that you really loved him coming out, and Kyle Pitts. We are going to compare him to one of the guys we loved last year in Harold Fannin Jr., Tyler Warren, who was our tight end 2. And lastly, another one of our favorite tight ends coming out, Sam LaPorta. So all these guys have questions if you really want to poke holes in them. Pitts, like you said, hasn't really put it.
LaPorta to this, are you?
Yeah, I thought he was in there. Did I not have him in there for you?
No, you only had the 3, but we can. Okay. I'll write them down. I'll know.
He must have gotten deleted because he was one of the first names. Pitts was actually the last one I added, so maybe I accidentally deleted LaPorta and put Pitts in there.
Yeah, maybe.
But they all have questions. So Fannin, we got the quarterback question mark. We think it's going to be Shadur, but who knows?
I think there's more questions with Fannin than just that.
Okay, well, let's get into it. See what you think.
Coach there, right? Like, let's not forget Kevin Stefanski was the coach there that schemed all those plays to get Harold Fannin onto people's radar. That coach has now moved over to the Falcons. So all those types of plays and drawn ups are now for Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. That makes sense. So let's make this interesting. Rank those 4.
For me?
Yep.
I'm going Kyle Pitts for sure at 1.
Okay.
Like, it's not even close to me.
Okay.
Dan Campbell, and who's the Colts coach again? From the Eagles? Steichen?
Steichen, yep.
Yeah. Both of those guys know how to use the tight end position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
There isn't much competition for the Colts fantasy-wise. You got Alex Pierce, so I'm going with Tyler Warren at 2, just from team makeup this year.
Okay.
That could be different next year. Then I'm going to go with LaPorta, and I'm going to have Fannin in 4th. Not that I would be upset getting any of these guys. I just think Harold Fannin is going to take a little bit of a step back with the quarterback situation, the new coach, because a lot of coaches don't know how they even use the tight end position. Even Monken, when he went for Baltimore and was calling those plays, who took steps back? Likely Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things like, which one were you going to start? Likely had some games. Andrews had some games.
You couldn't even really start either one of them.
Right, that's the problem there. But if
I think Fannin goes into that, I don't think he's even going to be startable.
Well, so the other way I look at it, at least from my perspective, because I mostly agree with your ranking there, it's just Fannin for me also. Who's going to lead that team in targets? Because to me, I think it's Fannin.
Oh, I think it's KC Concepcion.
As a rookie, because he's still got to learn the playbook, and Fannin already. Well, I guess Fannin's got to learn it too, because new coach.
They're on the same page, so give me KC Concepcion easy because you can move him all over.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fannin all over too, but I think he's going to be the check down guy.
That's fair. So LaPorta, he's one that I just kind of wanted to bring up because I think people are lower on him than I kind of expected, and I don't know if it's just target competition, because Drew Petzing's his new offensive coordinator, and look at what Drew Petzing did in Arizona. It was all Trey McBride. All Trey McBride.
The problem is you got Gibbs, you've got Amon St. Brown, you've got JMO, you've got Tesla.
That has to be the only thing, man.
And personally, as a tight end, if I'm going Warren and LaPorta NFL-wise, I want LaPorta because he's the better blocker. So he can stay on the field. But if I'm going fantasy-wise for this season, I give Warren a little bit of the edge because he doesn't have as much competition around him to get the ball.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And one thing with the tight end position that makes things tough is if you have a good pass-catching back, oftentimes those are the same kind of targets. And that's what Gibbs does, right? So Gibbs and LaPorta are, in essence, going to take targets from each other. So it's interesting. I thought it'd be a good conversation. And we're talking about tight end position getting deeper. There's 4 guys, and we like all 4.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, I thought you only had 3, but
yeah,
I forgot to put up the pictures of these guys, so I'm just cycling through them so we can see. But for me, let's see here. What I got for you is an easy one this time. I know I've been given multiple things to you.
All right.
I went to rookies, and I've got it between 2 of them. Both wide receivers going around. They were going around by each other back then. They're going around by each other now. Your choices are between Chris Bell of the Dolphins, which I think you got to wait a year for before you fully get to see what you get with him, or Antonio Williams of the Commanders, who people think are going to explode onto the scene.
Oh, man. So for me, I like both guys. I actually don't have any Chris Bell, so maybe that makes it a lot easier. I think Antonio Williams is going to be more impactful early. So really it comes down to your team context, right? Like, are you closer to competing now, or can you afford to wait? And with Chris Bell, he's honestly one of those guys that I didn't understand why everybody was so hyped about him. Everybody wanted to pull if he didn't tear his ACL, he would have been a first-round pick. Yeah, okay, well, you guys also said Sorsby was a first-round pick, and that was never going to happen.
So I never thought Sorsby was a first-round pick. He wouldn't even be a guy who would draft Devy. I just don't see it with him. Right,
but that's one of the things that everybody says. Like, even when the thing came out that he was going to go into the supplemental draft, people are like, yeah, but he was a projected first-round pick. In what world? Like, not everybody is a first-round pick.
You know what the Sorsby situation reminds me of?
What's that?
Remember when everybody was freaking about that Bills Bengals game that got canceled because of and all these commissioners were freaking out. I just remember in my league being like, "Hey, I'm going to wait a few days because I think the NFL might settle this for us." And that's how I looked at the Sorsby situation. Hey, let's wait.
For sure.
The NFL will fix this.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if I gave my official answer, but I'm leaning Antonio Williams. Even if I have to wait a little bit, I think he's just going to be higher floor, higher ceiling player than Chris Bell. because Chris Bell to me is just a total projection.
See, and I really like Chris Bell before he went down with the ACL, but it's going to depend how he comes back from that, right? So, fantasy-wise, if you got these two guys on the board, my recommendation would be Antonio Williams because you know he's coming in healthy, and Chris Bell with that weight and that time off, it affects people differently. So you don't know what you're going to get, but before the injury, I would have taken Chris Bell.
Yeah, and that's where I don't see it, but that's also because I wasn't as high on him as most people even coming into the process. So, give me Antonio Williams.
All right. Well, that's what we got for Fantasy Light. There's some people you'd like us to compare. Let us know in the comments.
Fantasy Light.
All right. We are into Fantasy Light, and today we will be giving our NFC South opinions of those teams. So we'll start off here with the Falcons with Alex. So Alex's fantasy thoughts here for the Falcons. He's got must-haves as Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. He's warm on Brian Robinson and cold on Austin Hopper, and his sleeper is Zachariah Branch.
Yeah, this was a little tougher for me just because, like, what's that quarterback position going to be? And Drake London, we saw him be at his best with Penix, and I'm not sure that his game style will match with Tua, but I think Tua's probably still a better quarterback than Penix at this point.
You think so?
I think so. I don't know for sure. I mean,
well, let me give you my answer by going through my Falcons list here.
All right.
So my must, I've only got Bijan. More I'm on Drake London. I don't need to have him. Most likely I'm not going to have him.
Well, and that's also the USC thing, right? So
yeah. So the fact that he's warm is pretty good.
Yeah, that's a big step for you.
Yep. And I also got Kyle Pitts and Michael Penix in my warm.
Okay, so you think Penix wins the job?
Yes, I do. I got Tua on my cold, Brian Robinson on my cold, Juan Dotson on my cold, and I also have the same sleeper in Zachariah Branch.
All right. So actually, I think that's a big step for you to have Branch as a sleeper too. Because he was
I like to do at least one sleeper for every team, right? And then when you look at this team, he's the only guy fantasy-wise that would be a sleeper. So that's why he's kind of made it a process of elimination, let's say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nobody else jumped out as like a sleeper, so that's where he ended up.
Right, and they didn't really add a whole lot offensively. This was more of a defense draft for them.
Well, that's where they needed to go to.
Yeah, I agree. With Brian Robinson, you have him cold. You think it's going to be all Bijan?
Yeah, I think Brian Robinson's only coming in for spot plays. He'll be very touchdown dependent. So that short yardage work where you don't want to, bruise up Bijan too much, but it's going to be Bijan like 90 to 10, I think.
90-10? Whew, yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be that much.
Why would you even take Bijan off the field?
Well, that's a great question, and that's the question we were asking his entire rookie season.
Yeah. So I'm going with that. I know Kevin Stefanski, he's used to having two-headed monsters and going with that, but he's never had a back like Bijan.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just last year was such a mess with Stefanski. I don't really know if we can take anything away from it.
No, and I'm not going by last year. I'm going by when he had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, and at that point he did use both.
Well, yeah, but both of those guys I would put on the same level, and they were both guys that you can put in no matter the situation, so it was easier to do. Brian Robinson is a totally different back than Bijan. You can't.
Yeah, I would agree.
And Stefanski's play call works more for Bijan than it does for Brian Robinson. But there's going to be times Robinson needs to touch that ball, and he'll get touchdowns. Yep,
I'm just hoping that the quarterback position can provide us enough that this is still a fantasy-friendly offense. That's my
for sure
primary concern.
All right, well, let's move on to the Carolina Panthers. So we'll start with yours. So for you, your must is Tet. That's all you got. You've got a lot of worms here. You've got Brian Young, Chuba Hubbard, Jalen Coker, Jalen Brooks, Chris Brazow, Xavier Legette is a cold, and Sanders is a cold, and your sleeper is Trevor Etienne.
I don't remember having Brazel in my warm, so if I did, my bad.
All right, so I guess you won't be going after him in the Hall of Fame league that someone just dropped him.
Well, I didn't see he got dropped, but if he got dropped, I'll pick him up for free.
Yeah, I tried to look at it, man. I can't. I've got to drop 3 guys, and then I got to drop a fourth guy just to get to him. And I'm like, I don't know who these guys are. I got to wait and just see come the trade cut line because I had so many picks, right?
Yeah, and that makes sense. And so for me, it really comes down to Bryce Young. I think that the offense under Canales is an offense that can be usable. We saw it at times. So that's where I have these guys as warm because, like, sure, I'll take a shot if the price is right, but otherwise I'm okay missing out. But on the must-have, I do think Tet is the guy, and he's the one that I am sure the offense is going to try to run through if it's not the running game, if that makes sense. So, like, I think Young can support one receiver. I'm not sure he can support multiple.
No, I don't think he can. Not right off the hop anyways. He's going to take some time because Stefanski's system's quite complex. So we'll see how smart Bryce is. We'll go for mine here before that. So for mine, my must is Chuba Hubbard. I don't know if Brooks is going to do anything. So he's going to be the main guy for the running game. I'm warm on Bryce Young, Tet, and Coker. I think this is going to be a run-heavy team to begin with.
I think so too.
Cold on Jalen Brooks, Xavier Legette, and Chris Brazzell. I don't think those Tennessee wide receivers tend to work out in the NFL. The best one that I can think of recently is Juan Jennings, but even he he just kind of worked in Kyle's system.
Right, which is kind of similar to Tennessee's, right?
Yep.
So,
and then I got the same sleeper in Trevor Etienne because really when you look at this, there's a lot of guys you could choose from, but I think he's got the best chance to kind of explode, and that's because I don't think Brooks is really going to be what he could be after coming back from 2 ACL tears.
Yeah, that's also where I have ETN as a sleeper because the other part of it is, for some reason, even though this team paid Chuba, we don't really hear them talk him up like they do everybody else. Like, Brooks is already getting hyped this offseason. Trevor Etienne got hype as soon as he was drafted, and last offseason and this offseason they've been talking about Etienne. So it's just, who's it going to be? I think it should be Chuba because he's getting paid, but who knows?
That's the genius of it. You don't talk about your stars.
Yeah, kind of.
Teams focus. Like, start friggin' throwing the screen smoke out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the Saints. So for you, you've got your must-haves as Chris Olave and Etienne. You're warm on Shuck and Tyson, cold on Miller and Delp, and your sleeper is Juwan Johnson.
Yep. So I think Juwan Johnson has the advantage over Oscar Delp as far as he knows the playbook already. We've seen flashes of him being a fantasy star. What was it that 2 seasons ago he finished with 5 straight touchdowns? Something like that. So I think he's still got the ability. It's just been injuries that have kept him on the field, or kept him off the field. And then Olave, I mean, we just saw his best season, and it seems like the concussions are now a thing of the past.
We'll hope. Wear that stupid helmet. Yeah. It helps.
Right? For real.
Just stay on the field.
I think even Aaron Rodgers is wearing it this year.
Oh, really?
I thought I saw something about that, where he was finally
switching. Have to wear it in practice.
Maybe that's what it is. People are seeing it like, oh, he's doing that now.
Yeah. Like this part of the practice, like these training camps, you have to wear it. It's like mandatory. And then once you get into preseason, then the options come in.
Gotcha. So, and then that's where we'll have some receiver like Antonio Brown saying, no, I'm wearing my old helmet that's not approved. I don't care if it fucks my head up.
Yeah, basically. And then to look at where he is at now. So
yeah, right.
For me, my fantasy thoughts here, my must are Juwan Johnson, because I think he's going to be a top 12 tight end easily.
Okay.
That you can get fairly cheap. He was a wide receiver, converted to tight end. He's finally just coming into his own in the position. Injuries, like you said, have kept him out the last year and a half, and people have kind of forgot about him. I've also got Etienne and Olive, just like you. I'm warm on Tyson, like you, and also Deuce Vele.
Devon Vele?
Last year, I think there's a plan. He works in the NFL. He's not a superstar, but he's definitely a guy who can put up, spot play and bye weeks or injuries. He's a guy you can use. I'm cold on Shuck. I don't know. I just don't want any part of him. I don't believe what I saw last year in him. I've also got Alvin Kamara in my cold. I believe he gets traded before the trade deadline, and I don't know where he's going to end up. So I just don't have him on. Like, I don't want him because I don't know where he's going to go, right?
That's why he didn't even make my list. I don't know what's going on yet.
I got Bryce Lance and Jalen Polk as my other 2 colds, and I've got 2 sleepers in Devin Neal, because that also is there if Kamara gets traded, right? He's going to get that bump up as the backup behind ETN. And I've got Oscar Delp as a sleeper, but more so if Juwan Johnson goes down, and he's forced to use Delp.
See, and that's the other thing that I do like about Delp is he's similar to Juwan Johnson in his athleticism. He is very athletic. He just didn't get used at Georgia. So that's where I agree with you on that sleeper. And Bryce Lance is one I kind of wanted to touch on. You said you're cold on him.
Yeah.
To me, he's just kind of, if the price is right, I'll take a shot. I like him for Dynasty just because of the athleticism. Like, let's see if he can be Rashid Shaheed for the Saints again.
Yeah, well, that's why I made you an offer in that rookie league and sleeper.
Yeah, I have to check it out. I hadn't seen it.
All right, we'll move on to Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, you've got Baker Mayfield, Emeka Ibuka as your must. You're warm on Godwin, Bucky Irvin, Gainwell, Jalen McMillan, Cade Otton. You've got no colds, and your sleepers are Tez Johnson, Ted Hurst, and Sean Tucker.
Yeah, so what do you think of this one?
Well, let's just go through mine here. And we'll compare them. I forget who I had where. So I got Mustard, the same two, Mayfield and Ibuka.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got Godwin and Irvin as my warms. I'm
so no Kenny G?
What's that?
No Kenny Gainwell?
I got him somewhere else.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I should let you finish.
Yeah. My colds are Jalen McMillan and Cade Otton. So those are your two that you had in warm and you had nobody in cold. So we're a little different on those two. My sleepers are Ted Johnson, Ted Hurst, and Kenneth Gainwell. And I got Kenneth Gainwell on here because I think people are just forgetting about him. Going Bucky Irvin all the way, thinking with Rachaad White out of the way that it's just going to be more of that first season that he had. But I think it's going to be the split with Gainwell too. So Gainwell's going to be a guy you can start weekly at the running back position.
I agree. That's why I got him up in the warm instead of sleeper. So we're both on him. It's just a matter of, I guess I'm higher on him than you are. The other thing with Gainwell is he was one of the first free agents to sign, and it was 2 years, $14 million, if I remember right. Yep. So it wasn't nothing. But I agree with you. I don't think Bucky just takes over and gets everything. I think the injury last season proved that maybe he can't do that. And already in the offseason, we've heard him talking about how his shoulder's still not quite the same. Like, okay, that's not good. You missed almost all of last season, and your shoulder's still not better? What's going on here, bud?
Yeah, just craziness. But that's what me and Alex got for the NFC South teams and fantasy thoughts. Stay tuned for next week when we'll finish this off with the AFC South.
Fantasy IDP.
All right, welcome to Fantasy IDP, and today we are going to be talking our top 10 linebackers each. So we'll start out with Alex's list here.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex has at number 1, Jack Campbell from the Lions. Number 2, Corey Schlesinger from the Browns. 3, Jordan Brooks from the Dolphins. 4, Zach Bond from the Eagles. 5 is Roquan Smith from the Ravens. 6 is Sonny Styles from the Commanders. 7 is Fred Warner from the 49ers. 8 is Oluokun for the Jaguars. 9 is Landman from the Rams. And 10 is Ernest Jones from the Seahawks.
Yeah, so one of the switches, if you guys remember my overall IDP ranks, was I moved Schlesinger up quite a bit. Part of that is just we've talked about the offense. I'm not sure that offense is going to be very good, which means lots of opportunities for Schlesinger. And Jordan Brooks led the league last year, so that's one of the reasons he's up there so high. Led the league in tackles. So,
well, going to be easy to get a lot of tackles on that Miami team again, too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right. So, for me, here's what I got. I got Carl Schlesinger as number 1.
Okay, so we're both there.
Yeah. I just think he had too good of a rookie season. Again, they're going to be on defense more than they're going to be on offense, and he's always around the ball. So that's why I got him as number 1. I've got Roquan Smith as my second guy running that Baltimore defense, strong defense, and he's the leader of it. Reminds me a lot of Ray Lewis, just not as crazy in the mindset.
Right. Makes sense.
Third, I got Jack Campbell. Got him a little bit down from Schlesinger because they're going to be on offense, I think, more than they will on defense. And at 4, I got a guy I didn't even think you would have on your list, in Sonny Styles from the Commanders.
Oh, yeah, I got him up there.
Yep.
So you have him higher than me, but the reason I had him so high, like over guys like Fred Warner, like you do, maybe it's the same reason, but the fit with Dan Quinn and that defense is just perfect. And his athleticism is going to make it so that he can make interceptions. He can rust a passer. He can do it all. So,
well, let me ask you this: what's the last middle linebacker you remember dominating for the Commanders? Been a long time.
Yeah,
London Fletcher for me.
Yeah, that's fair. And you know what? I forgot he was there because when I think London Fletcher, I think of the Eagles.
Yeah, well, he finished off with the Commanders.
Yeah.
That's the last time they had a middle linebacker, man. They had that Singleton was there for a bit. They've had like some guys that were decent.
Yeah, that got better when they left.
Teams to be depth pieces, you know what I mean? But they have been craving this position, and now they've got a guy that fits perfect with the coach. I just think he's going to dominate.
Yep, I agree.
And I was hoping to get him in that 32-team league, but he went in the top 10. Pissed me off.
Yep, makes sense.
I got a Luakon at 5, Ernest Jones at 6, Zach Bond at 7, Jermaine Sherwood from the Jets at 8.
Okay.
Landman at 9 from the Rams, and Fred Warner at 10.
So, really, Sherwood is the only name that's different?
Yep, Sherwood. I'm looking at your list here.
Yeah, slightly different order, maybe. Well, not maybe. It is a different order.
It's a different order, but all the players are the same. I think you got Brooks on yours. I don't think I had Brooks on
That's it, yeah. So I had Brooks.
Yeah, you had Brooks. I had Sherwood.
Yep, and
I think Brooks is like in that 11 to 15 spot.
Yeah,
I debate it between him and Warner. So
that's fair. And they also, if I remember right, Miami drafted a middle linebacker. So Brooks may go down too.
And they just signed that other linebacker.
Yep, that we just talked about from the UFL.
Yep. But that's our IDP thoughts. So stay tuned for next week. We'll be doing our top 10 defensive backs. Oldtimer Spotlight. Let's dive into the past and see who we can come up with and talk about their game. All right, we are into Oldtimer Spotlight. And today, let's see here, get all this stuff ready. We'll talk about Alex's guy, LC Greenwood from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, and he was part of that steel curtain defense. I think he was the more forgotten part because Joe Green overshadowed him. Kind of like we talked about Peyton Manning overshadowing Andrew James. I think this is the same here for LC Greenwood. 2-time All-Pro, 6 Pro Bowls, part of that steel curtain defense, and led the team in sacks multiple times over that stretch. I believe it was a 12-year career, if I remember right. Just somebody that, with Joe Green on the other side, defenses often forgot about him, and he made him pay for it. So he's somebody that I don't think gets enough credit. He's been on the Hall of Fame ballot, I believe, 6 times, and just missed last year as a senior contributor. But he's somebody I think you could probably make the strong case to put him in.
Oh, for sure, man. Like when I was going back and watching tape of that steel curtain, I thought for a long time LC Greenwood was Mean Green because he just dominated on the field so much. But he was drafted 238th overall in the 10th round, 13-year career, 4 forced fumbles, crazy. 14 fumble recoveries, 78 sacks, 6 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, 4 Super Bowls, and he's part of the 70s All Hall of Fame team. So how this guy isn't in the Hall of Fame already, to me, it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And like you said with that 70s All-Decade team, that's an NFL thing that they do. And he's part of that. So I don't know how you could be an All-Decade and not in the Hall, but I feel like that's what's happened the last 2 weeks. We've talked about guys that have had that.
And he's not the only guy that's like that, right? Like if you make an All-Decade team, I'm the same. You should be in the Hall of Fame at some point. Like
right, that means you were the best in a decade.
Yeah, at your position, because they only make one team of it.
I wonder how much of it too, because as I was looking into this, I don't remember the exact year that tackles and sacks became an officially tracked stat, but I think that's part of it that we run into with these guys.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, because my guy's the same sort of thing. You'll laugh when we always tend to go the same position. Yeah. And we don't even talk to each other about it.
I know, it's crazy.
But yeah, the same thing, right? Like I think they started late 80s counting tackles, and that was unofficial tackles at the time because it was like ESPN and Fox Sports that were keeping track of it, not so much the NFL. And then the NFL started tracking it in the early 90s.
Which is kind of crazy. It took that long for them to get around to track and tackle. Like, maybe it's just our day. We're obsessed with stats, right? But that's something. If you're on defense, like, yeah. All right, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's probably what changed it. Now that we're talking about it, but at the same time, like, if you're on defense, how do you track that somebody's good? Like, obviously, you know when you're watching, but how do you validate that? I guess is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, I'll let you know my guy here.
Yeah, who you got?
So I've got the first ever draft pick from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Leroy Selmon, drafted 1.01 in 1976, 9-year career, 18 forced fumbles, 10 fumble recoveries, 1 fumble recovery touchdown, 78.5 sacks. He's in the Hall of Fame, 6 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro, he was the 1979 Defensive Player of the Year. He's in the All-80s Hall of Fame. And he was part of that 1976 team with Tampa Bay that was the first team to go winless at 0-14.
That's just crazy for multiple reasons. Also, because if you look at these guys' stats, they align very closely. Same position, same kind of years. Just, it's wild how in sync we get sometimes, honestly.
Yeah, but it's pretty funny. I saw your guy and I just started chuckling and like, how the hell does he know who I'm doing here? Like,
it's crazy.
We put a theme on this? I don't remember putting a theme.
No, we definitely didn't. It's just crazy how it works out. But he's one I'd like to go back and actually like look over some of his game and stuff, because he's one that I'm actually not very familiar with.
Oh, it's fun to watch too, because he was the one that made the creamsicle uniforms famous. Coming off the edge, and he was the only spotlight, right? Really on that team. So
you said 14 forced fumbles. That's a shit ton.
Yep, and he only played 9 years. So
yeah, that's even crazier.
Short, especially for back then.
Yeah, because that was 76. So yeah, impressive for sure.
Yep. Well, that's our Oldtimer Spotlight. Stay tuned for next week when we'll be doing 2 more.
Down and talk about all the world stuff that goes on around the world under your nose. Never know where we'll end up. Come with us and we'll chase that rabbit down there all over there today.
All right, welcome to Shine the Light. Today we are going to talk about Falcon Lake in Canada. So basically this was a UFO encounter that happened on May 20th, 1967, where this one guy named Steve Michalek, am I saying that right?
I just know him as Steve, so
right.
I don't know how to say the last name either.
Basically he was at Falcon Lake in Manitoba at the park White Shell Provincial Park. He's the lone witness. He claimed to hear human voices from the craft and said it was man-made, and claimed that he had burns on his stomach that were from the exhaust system of it. These burns disappeared later and then came back a year and a half later in 1968, to which he went back to the authorities and showed them.
So interestingly enough, a couple things. One, the craft was supposed to be like he said it was polished to the point he could see his reflection in it. The voices that he heard were when the craft opened, he actually stuck his head inside. He was a welder and had his welding mask on because the light coming out of it was so bright. The interesting thing about his burns, though, is that they came back every 112 days. So they would heal and scar and then come back 112 days later, which is so weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah. He was also told not to go back to the site after he told authorities. He went back 3 days later to collect artifacts, his burnt shirt, which I got a picture of here, and some soil collections, which he sent off to be tested, and it came back with radioactivity in the soils. So it's just one of those weird type of interactions, but with him being the lone witness, people kind of dismiss it.
Yeah, and the weird part about this is he said that after it happened, he started trying to walk back, and he was vomiting like crazy, didn't feel good. He came across a cop, and the cop said, "Sorry, guy, I got better things to do," and left him there, which to me just sounds crazy. Like, what kind of cops you got up there, bud? See this guy bleeding from his chest, vomiting, and you're like, nah, I'm good. I got other shit to do.
Let me tell you, man, I live in a house in a subdivision where from my front window, there's one house from me to the stop sign. It's a 4-way stop. And so cops park in front of my fucking house to catch people that run the stop sign.
Nice.
Not a single car stops for that stop sign, and that car never moves. They just sit there watching people run the stop sign for an hour. They do fuck all. We got the laziest fucking police you could ever fucking have. That's why our government tells us, just leave your keys by the front door so they can steal your car. We don't want any problems. Just let them have it.
So that's got to be part of it, right? Is like they don't actually want them enforcing the law, and if they enforce the law, then they get penalized.
Yep.
Is that just crazy?
Basically. It's just fucking retarded here, man. Like, we've actually had our first protest kind of going like Europe 2 here recently this weekend.
Jeez.
With the cops freaking trying to stop the people going for Canada first and allowing the people that are showing up to protest for friggin' Palestine and all that, and those Muslims to do whatever the fuck they want. It's like, what the fuck? One guy was like, they're not allowed to protest here because like there's rules to it, and they're protesting on at a school. That's one of the places you're not allowed to protest in Canada is to be broken up. Well, one citizen that lives in the area across the road to tell them they had to go because the rules and they can't protest. There's no way they could get a permit to protest there. Cops showed up, told him to get away. He's like, I'll get away, but this is what the jobs are. Told the cops exactly what the rules are. The cops agreed with the rules. He leaves the street, goes back to his house. The cops stand there and watch the protest for another hour with the news people asking him, are you going to move them? Yeah, we'll move them. Well, when are you going to move them? When they decide it's time to go home?
Yeah, when they're done.
Yeah, like,
that's just crazy.
Like, our police here are just a fucking joke anymore, man. I have zero fucking respect for them at all. It's like, when they talk to me, it's like, fuck off. Do what you need to do and just fuck off.
Just craziness. Speaking of authorities in Canada, one of the guys from, I believe it was the Royal Air Force, eventually became the PM or governor of Canada? Higher government position, but he was tasked with proving this incident as wrong. And when he went to investigate, he ended up writing in his report that there were actually 3 things unexplainable. The burns were there immediately. And like we said, they healed and kept coming back. There was one, I don't know if you saw the picture. It was like the dots from it, the burns were in like a grid pattern. I think that one was made up and fake, but you couldn't fake the fact that they go away and come back.
Yeah, so, this one, the picture I've got of it is like 3 dots at the top, 2 dots underneath, a big dot, and then a single dot underneath that. I wouldn't call it a grid though. Yeah,
so there's one that it turns out was a fake picture, but the other thing that we always talk about with this stuff is like, okay, well, follow the money, right? Like, did he make money off it? You know what's interesting about this guy? He didn't write a book, he wrote a booklet. And it was a booklet that he printed out for himself and passed it out because so many people wanted to hear his story. He was sick of telling it, so he just gave him a booklet like, here's my story.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do. Probably has those yellow dots on that booklet.
Right?
He just recently passed away too, so.
Yeah, not that long ago. And he actually came to the U.S. to Mayo Clinic in Washington, paid for it his own way to try to get some answers as to like what was going on. And they never found an answer, but he died at 83. Just crazy.
Yep. That's why you got to remember, people. Question everything.
Have a good one.